with my drone. Actually, I want to talk about this drone because I have an older drone.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Emily from Hopscotch Interactive, and I am back with my friend Ian Annase from Zing Drones.
Hey guys.
Hello. Welcome to the Bay Area.
Thank you. Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, totally. So, okay, we have you as a guest today, and California brought you here because, like we talked about last time, your modules are being manufactured here in the United States. So they're being manufactured at a plant here in California. Tell me about what this week was all about.
So this week we visited the manufacturer in San Jose. We basically brought them these modules, showed them how they look so far. We had the first 50 shipped to us already. We talked about doing thousands of them, and they said that they can fulfill that. They have about 7 different production lines that they've got going on that they can do 300,000 parts per day with. So we're excited to be able to ramp up the production of these with them because there's a real need right now for these broadcast modules in the US market.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So we're here in Berkeley, California. They're about to ramp up production, and I believe that also tomorrow you're going to hear from the FAA about your declaration of compliance.
Yeah, so last week we basically have been testing this a ton. We had to basically do 8 different tests on this. One of them, we had to stick the drone up on a tripod, rotate it 360 degrees over like a 5-minute span, make sure it got enough broadcasts every second to be compliant. Another one, we had it fixed on a GPS stand for up to 12 hours. We had to do it for 12 hours actually. And basically all these tests were to make sure that these broadcast modules can broadcast far enough and make sure that they're compliant with Bluetooth, the Bluetooth standard for RID.
All right, so rigorous testing, and from what I understand, there have only been 11,000 of these modules sold in the US. So there's some slackers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, you don't have to feel like a slacker because you have until March 16th, 2024 to get one of these. But as we discussed before, waiting to the last minute, probably not such a good idea. And these are all available now or will be available shortly. So let's talk about your drone and putting the module on there. And we're going to do a test flight today so that I can learn how to use this.
Yeah, so this is the Mavic Mini. The module itself only weighs 35 grams.
Can I see it?
Yep.
Okay.
So basically this module.
Okay, so here we go.
35 grams, it's about 2 inches by 1 inch. It's as compact as we could get it.
Yep.
And basically it takes the GPS information from the satellites and then it broadcasts that out over Bluetooth 4 and Bluetooth 5. And what it's broadcasting out is the drone's live location and the takeoff location of the drone.
Okay.
And those are the 2 pieces that are required by the FAA to be compliant. So that's what we got today. We just got 1 module here. We'll turn it on, let it start broadcasting GPS information over Bluetooth. Then we can use the drone scanner app on iPhone or Android to pick that up.
Okay, sweet. Okay, Ian, so when you've got your drone, can I hold this for a second? Okay, so when you've got your drone and you've got your, remind me what this is called?
3M dual lock.
Dual lock. Okay, so this is what we have on our Lume cubes for our lights. This stuff sticks to the back of this and it can hold forever without getting frayed. And it's really, you're not going to lose your module out in the field. And even if you did, you could go find it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is if you lose your drone, this is also a second way to pick up where the drone is.
Yeah.
So basically, this 3M material is very strong. It's not like a Velcro. It's more like it's kind of it's got these little pieces that stick to each other. It's stronger than any glue or Velcro type material, and you can reuse this hundreds of times and it'll still stay intact. So yeah, this stuff's very powerful. Okay,
and what's on the side? I see a number there. Is that your module broadcast ID on the actual outside of it?
That's correct. So these are the remote ID serial numbers that we've been assigned by ICAO. So it has our ICAO identifier number, and then it has a serial number for the specific module. Okay, sweet. Okay, well, we'll get a close-up of that a little bit later. And all right, you ready to take off? Yeah, let's send it up. Okay, let's do it. So this is the ZRID in flight. This is the Mavic Mini. So if you have a drone that weighs 250 grams or less, you're still going to need a remote ID module for commercial operations. So this will fulfill that requirement. And you can see, like, although it is a little bulky, there is it doesn't affect the flight time too much. So we still got a good like 25 minutes of flight out of the Mavic Mini.
Got it.
And it's usually like a 30-minute flight. So plus it's kind of windy down here at the same time.
It's so windy. Yeah, we've got a windy marina.
Yeah.
And yeah, so okay, Ian, so right on. So this thing definitely has a little bit of a lean to it, I'm noticing.
Yeah.
But that could be contributed to greatly by the wind here, which is, you know, kind of the way it is here in the bay.
Yeah, so it's quite windy today, and yeah, I mean, although it's windy, you can see like the broadcast module sticking on there fine with that 3M dual lock, and yeah, like the Mavic Mini, it can take quite a lot of wind. Most DJI drones can, as fast as they can fly, they can withstand the wind.
That's great. I mean, it's impressive. I mean, I feel like I can barely stand here.
Same.
Nice.
So,
okay, cool. So what do we got? So we've got now this idea of you're the drone operator, right? You've got your controller, and if somebody is within how big of a distance from you are they going to be able to pick up this drone? Yeah,
so this remote ID broadcast module uses Bluetooth 4 and 5. Bluetooth 4 is about 100-meter range. Bluetooth 5 can be 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers depending on where you're at. In this kind of area where it's really open, you'll probably get that maximum range.
Yeah.
But in an area where it's a little bit less, like a little more urban, some like buildings around, you'll probably get that 100 to 200 meter range with it.
Wow.
But the Bluetooth 4 goes a lot more frequently than the Bluetooth 5. So you'll basically be able to see it probably from, if you can see the drone in the sky, you'll probably be able to pick it up with the phone, and that's mainly the purpose of it from the FAA.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then once you get that GPS fix, you're basically good to fly, and the LEDs are going to turn green. Once both LEDs turn green, you know you're good to take off, and you're compliant with remote ID.
Wow. And I'm such a big fan of getting one that is manufactured in the U.S. And I think that having a U.S. supply chain is just such a great idea.
We're also going to look into something that a lot of like regulatory agencies are interested in, which is the NDAA compliance.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something that we're going to try and acquire for this module, although we don't have it yet, but it's something we're looking into. So basically, we're looking into NDAA compliance, and we're also looking into making this something that can be used in the future, making it future-proof. So the next version of remote ID is expected to be a network-based system that's connected to LTE, and so this already has that compatibility built into it from the start. And our goal with this module is not just to use it as like a remote ID broadcast, but also to collect nearby remote ID broadcast module information and use that to deconflict your drone with other drones in the airspace. And we were in Santa Cruz on Sunday testing out flying near manned aircraft, and those manned aircraft will basically be able to also detect where these drones are flying, especially at some of those smaller airports where there's no tower. They want to be able to see where some of these drones are flying at all times, especially some of the bigger like VTOL type aircraft.
Yep.
So that's what we're trying to do with this technology, not just use it as a remote ID broadcast module, but also add some other value with a web dashboard where you can see the other drones flying around you and deconflict with them.
It is super windy, but we're still going because I have some more questions for Ian. Now, when I did my first video, before I met you, before I bought the broadcast module, one of the things that I was trying to figure out was, where am I going to put this? Because I have a Mavic 2 Pro, and right now, so I'm putting my Lume Cube on here, for example, for flying at night, for flying at dusk. and I was trying to figure out, you know, how am I supposed to also fit this module on here? And I was thinking, like, does it go here? Does it go here? Where does it go? Where does all this, how do you fit it on? Yeah. And so what we decided here is, you hold that for a second. Like, so for people trying to figure out where they're going to put this, which is actually like it's like a big question, I think.
Yeah.
You're going to have some of this.
Yeah, so you can, I mean, you can stick this on here, potentially, and
like, boom, it's just on there right away. So obviously, like, this just sticks right on there. It's fine. Without very much effort whatsoever. It's totally secure, and we were just using the back with the, what is this stuff called again? The lock?
Yeah, the 3M dual lock.
The dual lock. I have to remember what that's called.
Yeah.
But it looks like adding this at the front, obviously, like shifting this a little bit and then adding this at the front, or maybe even we'll test it with this on top of that. I feel like that's like a good solution, and I think that you know, I will probably eventually get a new drone, but I think that for now, people that have this drone, or they have other drones that are not compliant yet, that they'll need to figure out where to put this.
Yeah, so ideally, the remote ID broadcast module, it has a GPS sensor on the top, so it's collecting satellite data, although that satellite data can travel through like solid objects. So you could potentially put it up here. You could have it on the back of here, but of course you got to swap out the batteries and have different Velcro on the batteries. So with the FAA, I mean, they just recommend put it in a place where it's not going to conflict with any of the other sensors on the drone. So on the Mavic 2 Pro, you got a little bit of space here. On the Mavic 2 Enterprise, it actually already has a 3 nautical mile beacon around right here. So putting it on the battery would probably be a good idea. And this 3M dual lock you can get from anywhere. It's at Home Depot, places like that. And if you need multiple, like, just let us know if you order a ZR ID, and we can send you multiple 3M dual locks. Okay,
awesome. So, and Ian has also offered, so anybody watching the channel, Ian has offered, since we chatted last, a code for viewers and a code for the channel followers to get $20 off of their module, which is a great deal, because tell us the retail price of it again.
So it's going for $199 right now, and with the code Hopscotch, you can get $20 off for $179.
Okay, so $20 off, $179, and I think that's a really good deal for this module that is made in the USA, that weighs next to nothing, that will fit on my drone. You already saw that it fit on this Mini, so we can pretty much use it on a whole range of drones, even from under 250 grams if we want to use them commercially. So that's a great way to upgrade and retrofit your existing drone to be compliant. And thank you so much, Ian.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you came by and that you shared this with me. And mine's arriving this week, so we're going to take a look at it in the app, because I do want to see, and I want to get a little close-up of you know, what it looks like, what I can expect when I'm out there using this in the field. So again, thank you, Ian.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Okay, all right,
bye. See you guys.